Hello, world, and welcome back to Creating Light with Kelsey. Here we are again, another round of quick somatic tools to reconnect to the body. I was laughing. I was already laughing at myself because I'm like, oh my God, don't say cools again. Say tools. Quick somatic tools to reconnect you to the body. Because as this word somatic comes into the mainstream world of healing, even though it's an ancient practice that your ancestors practiced since the beginning of time. And they didn't use the word somatics, they danced. But the word, in case you need a reminder, the word somatic is of the body. So within a lot of Western culture and what's pushed through the mental health paradigm is just being in that headspace, and we're talking and we are constantly processing with the logical part of the brain. And just the brain in general is that main push within the mental health realm. Obviously, it's in the name of it. Then the somatics brings us back into the body. We are here because our body is so wise and holds so much information that we can only get so far with just the mind in regards to healing. So important because we wouldn't exist, we wouldn't be these lovely human creatures without our beautiful brain. But we also have a body, and we got to remember that too. The first tip for you to reconnect to your body is ecstatic dance. What's really funny about this is that I was utilizing ecstatic dance for myself before I even knew what the fuck that meant. I, at the time, one, dance has always been a part of my life in some shape or form. Like I was in like a little dance like program, academy, I don't even know what to call it, studio, that's the word. A little dance studio in the small town that I grew up in, and then was in stuff throughout high school. But I was also always making up dances. I was in my room just dancing. And that is the essence of ecstatic dance. But the definition of that is to freely move your body, that there's no choreography. You're not trying to perform in the way that you move. You're not trying to look cute. The more unhinged, the better. Actually, that means you're really tapping into some stuff and you're connecting to the body and to your spiritual self as well. But all of that, we drop all of that, freely moving your body, and you let your body lead. How does your body want to move? You surrender the mind and trying to understand and know the next step, and you're just listening to the music, feeling into your body and letting it move you. And before you know it, then you're moved by it, and then you're in this state, this flow state, this trance state, or this ecstatic state where everything around, like the mind is calm. You're no longer, the racing thoughts have disappeared. You're in tune with the sensations that are here, and you're open. And from there, a lot of things can happen. You can either have a blissful experience, a blissful dance with your emotions. You can have a cathartic dance with your emotions. You can let go of something that's been stagnant within your body. And you can also receive beautiful intuitive hits and insights or downloads from spirit or your ancestors, like information, like this creative energy is like that, something that you tapped into when you're in a full-on flow state in the ecstatic dance itself. And if all of that just sounded like a bunch of mumbo jumbo and you're like, what the heck is this lady talking about? Is that something unexplainable gets to really be unlocked and seen and felt within when you're freely moving your body. It goes as deep as you want it to go, but if you don't want it to be that deep, it doesn't have to be. That's up to you and your willingness and your openness. But it also, what's so important is it taps you back into play, into fun, into being silly, because ecstatic dance really is like beyond the somatic shake, because I talked about that in the other episode, the episode 54. So the first round of the quick somatic tools. So the shake, you're just like literally shaking your body and shaking your limbs. And then beyond that is the ecstatic dance, is you are being moved by what you're feeling and by where your body's wanting to guide you. And what does it need? And when you do that, sometimes you do some wild shit, man, and you're doing some crazy funky moves, and it's just hilarious. I find myself laughing a lot doing it. I'm like, I'm ridiculous right now, and this is funny, but this is fun, and I feel so joyful when I'm doing that, and it helps you. This is a good one. It helps you give less fucks because you are just like, I don't even care. This is just what my body needs right now, and I'm gonna tend to my body because that's the most important thing of nurturing and tending to myself. And if it's something that you practice, of like really just put on a few of your favorite songs and just freely move your body and just watch how how that breaks up stagnation within yourself and your own rigidity in your existence and your stature and your frame of your body. Like that is a beautiful thing to witness. Because when you first start doing this, it's like for me, I thought I was moving big, or I thought I was doing stuff, or and then when I'd film myself and kind of watch my body and how where it was at in this state, and looking back, it's like, wow, I was so rigid and stuck and stagnant and just playing small. And where is that a reflection of how that was showing up in other areas of my life? And then this ecstatic dance and freely moving my body was like breaking me beyond the boundaries that I had set and the limitations that I had set for myself in my own existence. So that like it's so transferable, and you think that it's just small. It's like, oh, it's just this quick little somatic tool, but it's seriously life-changing. Putting on songs, freely moving your body and letting your body lead. And a really good way to get into an ecstatic state and flow is to have longer tracks, longer songs without lyrics. So then that's how you can tune into the beat, because the shorter the track, then that doesn't give you a lot of time and space. And if something shifts, then if you're in a flow and the song shifts, it can pull you out of that flow. So yeah, having the longer tracks and without lyrics or very minimal lyrics and going at it, man. The second tool, bringing in another breathing technique. So the first one, we were just breathing, and I told you how to do that, and then the ways to connect and how that connects you and how it tunes you in, and bringing in presence as your practice throughout your day. Because if we're not present, we're not in the now, we're not connected to the body, we're not connected to the self. And so another breathing technique is to have your two fingers, have two of them. Hello, two. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? We're having two fingers. But on your right hand, and then you're going to press them against your right nostril, and then you will just only be breathing in and out of the left nostril. And then have your free hand on your stomach so you can feel the rise and fall of your stomach as you're breathing, because it's the same thing with all type of breathing. Well, I guess not all type, because there's breath work will have you breathe in really different type of patterns, but like normal breathing and what we want throughout our day is to come back and to remember the belly breathing. And so this is that same thing of, as you breathe in, you feel your stomach expand and fill up, and then as you breathe out, you're feeling it contract. And that in itself can take time to build that those neural pathways in your body, understanding that motion. Like I've had clients like it take quite a bit of time to like register of like, no, okay, my belly pushes out when I breathe in, because we've been so conditioned as a society to be disconnected from the body. And then the breath is a part of that, because a lot of us actually breathe through our chest. So we're breathing in and we're sucking in and our shoulders are lifting, and then it contracts everything, and it's continuously perpetuating the disconnected state. So if you live in that, it's actually not just, it may not be so simple to then descend and pause and push your stomach out as you're breathing in. So give yourself grace there. If you're like, this is difficult, that's okay. And now now you have something to work on, and trust that it will get easier over time. And then it's going to be something that you won't have to put so much conscious effort into. It's something that gets to shift and then just be something that happens. But this is a fantastic breathing technique to bring you back to a grounded state. But there is a big but on this one. If you're noticing that you're feeling huge senses of overwhelm, panic, anxiety, anger, just these rushes of emotions, first do the somatic shake or ecstatic dance. First do those and allow that big feeling to move through you. And when your body feels complete in that and being seen and held in that motion and in that emotion, then you do this breathing to ground yourself after moving through a big intense wave of emotion. Because if you feel that, and then we're going to try and just, oh, let's just sit and stagnate, and we're not moving it through we're not moving it through you, and it can actually be bypassing what's needing to be done. And that's where I've gotten a lot of feedback from clients before of when I offer them to do the movement first before that. And then they would say that past clinicians, they'd be like, oh my God, that makes so much sense, because people will just say, oh, when you feel this or when you feel anxious or overwhelmed, just deep breaths. The mental health field loves to just throw that out there like it's something that makes sense to everyone and it works to everyone. And it's in this black and white prescription of a wellness technique of just take deep breaths. When no, if you're so extremely activated, you need to be moving your body. Then when that feels complete, then we pause, then we breathe, and we close it up. It's a nice closing and grounding thing to continue to move on with your day. But if you're not activated at all and you're just hanging out and chilling and you're just like, oh man, I want to be more grounded or bring in more presence, yeah, sure. Do that. It's not like you have to move before you do this. That's not the case. I'm just saying when you're feeling a big feeling, that's when you move before you do this. But it does regulate you. It does regulate the nervous system and bringing you back to baseline. And if the breathing technique that I talked about in episode 54 feels too challenging, this could be a good one to do first, of holding of your two right fingers pressing against the right nostril, and then you breathe in and out of just the left nostril. And you can put on like a chill track or binaural beat, something of that, if you need some noise and a time limit of, okay, I'm gonna put this on. It's a 4-minute song, and when that's done, I did my thing. I had a moment of pause and choosing presence. Definitely do that if you need that structured start and end. And then also just try it without anything and being in silence and just tuning in, and you breathe, and your body will tell you when it's done, when it's time to be done, and it feels complete. I guess we're really digging that word this episode, but it's true. Like this is part of that somatic work. If we're connecting to the body, we're learning the language of it. We're learning how to be in unison and communication and relation with it. So then we if we're going to tap into the body to be with it and move with it and breathe with it, then we need to listen when it feels complete, instead of the mind coming in and saying like, that's enough, that's it for today, that blah, 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 that's it for today. Because a lot of times when the mind comes in to take charge in that way, it's when you're on the brink of something that your body actually needs and being with that discomfort, or you're about to release a big emotion, but the mind wants to just like go away and say that's enough. So as you build practices like this, you'll be able to learn that language of the body, of knowing the difference of when the mind talks to you versus when the body talks to you. And the third thing, gonna bring in another somatic activated healing move. This is my second favorite one. And this one is 1 breath through the nose and 1 breath through the mouth. So how you'll do this is, as you start, you reach your hands up to the sky. And then as you breathe in, you run your hands down your entire body, as far down as you feel like going. And then when you reach your hands back up to the sky for that big, strong reach and standing back up, that's when you breathe out through the mouth. So you're breathing in, run your hands down your whole body, breathing out, reaching your hands out forward, pushing your hands back up to the sky. And it's that fluidity. And the pace is up to you. It's whatever your body needs. Usually for me, it's a pretty slow pace, but if you need to be quick with it, do that. And with these saw method moves, it's tapping into specific emotions that we all feel and experience as humans. So as you're doing the move, just notice what's happening within your body. What sensations are present? Is there any opening or constricting or tightness or tingliness? Like pay attention to that. That's what I mean with the sensations, to what you're experiencing as you're doing the move. And then if a feeling is coming forward in that moment, continue to do the move, and that's how you're continuing to be with the feeling. And name it. We don't have to go into a whole story of what this feeling is attached to or why it's here. We just welcome it, say thank you for being here, thank you for visiting me. And that can increase emotional awareness if you're able to name the feeling, and then you continue to do the move with the feeling. But you do not need to go into whole story of what's this connected to and why are you here? And oh, I felt this at this time and this conversation and then we're kind of starting to get back into the headspace. So when you notice that, just pause and keep breathing and keep doing the move. There you have it. There is the 3 quick somatic tools: ecstatic dance, a specific breathing technique, this nostril breathing, and a somatic activated healing move. So try that. How can you implement that into your day? And again, this can even just be 5 minutes of the day. The static dance, I challenge you to at least do like 10 minutes and work up to that being a habit of like 10 minutes a day of dancing and flowing in that way. And that is like, does wonders. But the other things, like for sure, just start with 5 minutes and see how it goes. And where do you need that, and when do you need that, and start getting curious about that. And that's how you learn how to tend to the body of like, oh, I had a really rough day. I just want to sit and breathe. Or, oh, I had a tough conversation with a loved one. I need to dance and move my body. Like those type of things. But if you're loving this stuff, or if you're new and you're like, man, there's a lot of information here, I would like to learn more, check out the show notes. There's all these different things of how I can be of service and support to you. If you join my email list, you'll get access to 2 somatic activated healing classes for free. One's a standing class, one's a sitting class, so you get 2 different like flavors there. And I've got different courses available for you that you can take on your own and be guided in that way, and just build your own liberation practice. And I'm available to take on some one-on-one clients. So whatever you need, mosey on over there and I can be of support and service to you. But thank you for listening. And remember, when we see the light in ourselves, we create light in others.